Hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not. Welcome back to Tubi Tuesday, and we are talking about the movie Leviathan from 1989, starring Peter Weller, Richard Crenna, Ernie Hudson, Meg Foster, Amanda Pays, uh, Daniel Stern, and written by George P. Cosmatos. Yes, the guy who directed Cobra and Rambo First Blood Part 2, which I don't think is that bad. But yeah. And it's one of those underwater creature films that came out back in the late 80s. Like The Abyss, Deep Star 6, uh, Humanoids from the Deep, a bunch of those, which all came out around the same time. But yeah, because space was done. We had aliens. We had aliens. We had Planet of Terror, I think is what it's called. So, what's the other ones? So instead of space, we're going underwater, and it's about a crew of a ship that's not called Leviathan. They're a crew of a ship or an underwater station that come across in the ship that's called Leviathan, and they bring stuff on board, which leads to a creature being created and taking over this station. And that's what it is. I get major vibes of, there's The Abyss, obviously, which was the more expensive of the two, but I feel like this is the better of the two. But also there's The Thing vibes, where a bunch of people stranded in a single location, something shows up and starts taking out people. It's very much The Thing, which I also copied from Alien. So, yeah. We got the crew of this this underwater station. That's the underwater station. I think they said station. Working for this company, much like Alien, that company is not really named. It's not. And a muscle spasm, like. It's not. The company's not named really. They made a sequel, probably named in the sequel, but we don't really get a name. But they report. We meet Beck, and that is Peter Weller's character. He reports to Miss Martin, who is Meg Foster's character, and she's very much businesswoman type character, and those piercing eyes that she has. And so he kind of reports, and they say, we're gonna take the time off, and then you tell her something up because she's like, oh, what? Like, you're gonna what? But yeah, everyone's excited for some time off, and then they happen to find this ship called Leviathan. They pull this safe out, and there's like stuff in there, but nothing too big, and the biggest thing they find is a bottle of vodka, and they're just ready to drink it. And it's like, why would you drink something that's been in an abandoned ship? Right? They even all sneak it out of Beck's quarters, and then it's been replaced with water. But it turns out that it was Daniel Stern who switched it out with water, and he and this other lady drink it. And that's what happens, is that Daniel Stern starts to turn into this creature who's been infected, and then she starts to turn later after she finds him in the thing. And they start to do their research, and they find a recording of Eugene Lipinski, Visser 3 from Animorphs, as the Russian commander, and not a Russian submarine commander like Sean Connery was a Russian submarine commander in Red October. No, he's actually playing Russian, not Sean Connery playing Russian, or Sean Connery playing a Spaniard, but does nothing to change his voice because it's Sean Connery. No, he's actually playing Russian, and he speaks only in Russian, which Doc, I think it's Doc, can understand and has to translate. So apparently they were experimenting, and the vodka was what they experimented. They put some sort of mutagen thing in the vodka and made their people drink it, which caused them to mutate. You even see later he has a camera. They have a camera that's going over the mutation, similar to the Norwegian camp in the thing where everyone, you know, and they see all the damage and everything. People, they could make a prequel to the Leviathan, call it Leviathan, whenever it came out, and but excuse me, it's late. It's like 1:30 in the morning, so I'm trying to power through this. So like I said, George P. Cosmatos directed this. Creature effects were done by Stan Winston, which means the old Tom Woodruff Jr. was in Woodruff. Tom Woodruff Jr. was in the creature suit when they show the full creature. It's Tom Woodruff Jr. Much like with Pumpkinhead. So yeah, once things start going, I was surprised that when I checked the time, there wasn't that much left, like 20 minutes left in the movie. They went by pretty fast. It's an hour, 38 minutes, but it's a fast hour, 38 minutes. There's a lot of build-up at the beginning, but once it gets going good. Because at one point I'm like, how much of this is left? And I clicked it and I'm like, that's not that much. Not at all. And they were getting ready to get the suits and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Because after Daniel Stern dies, the other lady, who I don't know, she freaks out when she finds out what happened to Daniel Stern, because she also drank the vodka. So she goes in the shower and slits her throat. And a question that came across my head, across my mind, I think I answered it, but I'm not exactly sure. But why is it in movies and TV and stuff, when people go to slit their wrists, they're in the shower? And I thought, well, I would assume it's because when the water is running, you slit your wrist, the blood will run down the drain. It's more likely to do that, I guess, because Stan in the miniseries, he was in a bathtub. Like the remake did that too, and there's other showers. The only exception here is Nika in Cult of Chucky, but that movie sucks anyway. But like, she's just in her bed doing it. That movie sucks anyway, so specs for it. But yeah, so she does that, and yeah, so everybody else sort of like Amanda Page gets freaked out, and she like showers and stuff in her bra and underwear, because no boobies for us. That's fine. She gets in the shower, I'm like, you want to show her nude? Because I know her from the Flash TV show. No, she's in underwear. That's fine. But yeah, and then De Jesus, who's an actor, I don't remember the actor's name, something Carmine. He died the same year, only at age 30 from a heart attack. That sucks. He's the next victim when this tentacle thing climbs through like the cupboards or whatever and attacks him like this. And I'm like, oh, no, it's visceral, really. Like, there's not much blood and gore to it. It looks like it's burrowing into his chest. So it's like, oh no. And he's found, I think, by Ernie Hudson, and they try to take it out. But of course, De Jesus dies, and I want to say there's another person there. Is there one more? Maybe not. But like, Doc gets taken out at one point, and like, oh, it's itching, and I got itching, and it's like, oh, it's healing, like it's healing him, and it's gonna there. So once things start to happen, they're like, oh, we need to get out of here. We need to go up to the top, and Meg Fox is like, no, there's a hurricane up here, and I'm just like, wouldn't they be able to tell because the water would be whooshing around or something? I don't know, like, oh, we can't go up there because it's a hurricane. Fine, they accept that, and shit goes down and everything. At one point, they're like, no, we need to go up, and we can't go up there. There's a hurricane. They check the weather forecast, and there's really they check some kind of financial thing, and if they say that they've all been reported dead in an accident, and the weather forecast doesn't say there's supposed to be a hurricane. So decided, screw it, we're going up. Doc dies, and we're down to the last three. They squish the creature in this bilge thing, like that, but it's not all gone. Um, I'll get a bit behind the scenes here in a minute because we gotta explain something because Ernie Hudson was not happy about this. So they all go up, which I guess this stops the, what do you call them? You go up, you go up too fast, you get the, you know what I mean? I guess it stops that from happening. They get up to the top, and they're like, "Hey, trying to wave down this helicopter that's there," and just when the helicopter comes down to pick him up, the creature surfaces again. Even though the creature has been squished, it's somehow able to come back out. Am I to assume it's something to do with them releasing the bodies earlier? Because they were gonna do that, and then but they are stopped because what was it? I don't remember what it was. But no, Ernie Hudson dies, and then Beck blows up the creature, and there's like no remorse for him. It ends with the comedy because they get up in the helicopter, they pulled up, like Amanda Pace is already in the helicopter, and then they throw a little life preserver thing for Beck, and he gets in it, and they fly up and they land on this oil rig type thing, which automatically reminds me of Deep Blue Sea. And Miss Martin is there, and she's like, "Oh, I knew you would make it. I knew you would make it. How do you feel?" And then Beck just cold cocks her in the face. Oh, man on woman violence under the 80s, let me tell you. And he's like, better, much better. And then the movie ends. Now, to go back, Ernie Hudson's death. Ernie Hudson did not like this because, and I agree, it makes no sense. Why does he die? Like, you could say, oh, well, he's sort of holding on to the monster so that Beck can kill him, but the monster kills Ernie Hudson before Beck blows him up. Gets the explosive and blows him up. Shouldn't Beck just grab the explosive and blow him up and all three of them survive? Why? Well, we got to point to how George P. Cosmatos directed this movie. It was very much, I'm doing what I want and fuck whatever you want. He would get notes from the studio and say, fuck off, I'm doing what I want. He would not budge. Which I wish there was a lot more directors that did that nowadays, because a lot of times they'll fold the studio meddling and then the movie will come out and then it'll be bad, but it'll be the stuff that the studio put in there that is bad, but the studio won't admit it and then blame the director. But it's the studio's fault for trying to push their stuff into the movie, that made the movie bad. If you'd stuck with what the director wanted, and overall, I don't know what they asked for, because I don't know specifics, but this definitely, feels like he knew what he wanted, he went for it, and it works. Except for Ernie Hudson's death. Ernie Hudson had a big problem with it, like I said, because it's unnecessary. Cosmatos did it because he said, if this character dies, it'll surprise the audience because they won't be expecting it. Yeah, they won't be expecting it because it's not necessary. It's just one last kill for the movie. In my opinion, Ernie Hudson did not have to die. Right? I'm just saying that. Everything else is done really well. The effects are great because, it's Stan Winston. But they also had issues because they were working with the effects for the creatures and they almost went over budget. And then they had someone else that was doing the stuff with suits. But they were having issues. So Winston's like, hey, I'll do the suit stuff too, but give me more money. And Cosmatos agreed, but then Stan Winston's people weren't happy because now they had a double workload. But they got it done, and it looks really good. The underwater scenes were not all underwater. There was some stuff, but a lot of it was what they called day for sea, day for water. I don't know what, but it looked as if they were underwater, but they're not really. You know, they didn't use a matte painting like in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, where it's very much a matte painting and they cartoon bubbles, so it appears like they're in there. No, this looks like they're underwater, but they're not. They had some problems with the suits. Some people almost got crushed. Uh, One of the actors is Ernie Hudson, or was it Richard Crenna? One of the actors almost got smooshed himself, but you know. But the movie turned out pretty well, you know. I wouldn't have known about this movie if it wasn't for Movie Dumpster, so thank you to them, Joe, Sean, for that. They did it on it. They had Tony from Hack the Movie on, which is why I watched it. So I'm like, okay, Tony, okay. And I'm like, I want to watch this movie. I couldn't find it. You can get a DVD. It's not too bad, I guess. You can get a Blu-ray. That's over $20, but I don't know. I found it for free on Tubi, so you know I can't complain. But I will say that Leviathan is pretty good. Nice little sci-fi movie to watch, sci-fi creature feature type thing. Better than The Abyss. I know there's all the effects. I know it's James Cameron, but I think it's better than The Abyss. I found The Abyss to be extremely disappointing because it was more about the wow, fantastical stuff, which is very James Cameron at this point, especially with his underwater fetish. This was what more I was thinking for a creature feature. It's very well done. So, let's go and pick our next movie. Not to the nitty gritty. There's 3 left. Tell you what, I know what I want to end with. So this is Macaulay Culkin and Ted Danson in Getting Even with Dad, which we'll talk about. So, what are your thoughts on Leviathan? Did I say that already? Make sure, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.